So, am I the first survivor you've talked to?
Yeah, Phil, you are.
Okay, well, first of all, let me say thank you for having me in today. And I want you to know that you have the full cooperation of my organization, SNAP.
How many members are in your organization, Phil?
We had 11 at our last chapter meeting. 10. Karen just moved.
You had a woman in your group?
Of course it was a woman. They don't discriminate, not when it comes to abuse. And this has nothing to do with being gay. What this is priests using the collar to rape kids. Kids, boys and girls. I was 11, and I was preyed upon by Father David Hawley in Worcester. And I don't mean prayed for, I mean preyed upon. Are any of you Catholic?
I was raised Catholic. Now I go to my wife's Presbyterian church.
I'm lapsed. I go to church with my grandmother sometimes.
It's safe to say we were all raised Catholic, but now.
Not so much. Okay. Well, let me tell you. When you're a poor kid from a poor family, religion counts for a lot. And when a priest pays attention to you, it's a big deal. He asks you to collect the hymnals or take out the trash, you feel special. It's like God asking for help. And so maybe it's a little weird when he tells you a dirty joke, but now you got a secret together. So you go along. Then he shows you a porno mag. And you go along. And you go along. And you go along until one day he asks you to jerk him off or give him a blowjob. And so you go along with that too because you feel trapped because he has groomed you. How do you say no to God, right? See, it is important to understand that this is not just physical abuse, it's spiritual abuse too. And when a priest does this to you, he robs you of your faith. So you reach for the bottle or the needle. Or if those don't work, you jump off a bridge. That's why we call ourselves survivors.
I think if you really want to understand the crisis, you need to start with the celibacy requirement. That was my first major finding. Only 50% of the clergy are celibate. Now, most of them are having sex with other adults. But the fact remains that this creates a culture of secrecy that tolerates and even protects pedophiles.
So you believe the church is aware of the extent of this crisis?
Oh, absolutely. After the first major scandal in Louisiana, Tom Doyle, the secretary canonist for the papal nuncio, co-authored a report warning pedophile priests were a billion-dollar liability. That was in 1985.
1985?
That's right.
Who saw that report? Anyone from the Catholic hierarchy?
Sure. Doyle tried to introduce the report at the National Conference of Catholic Bishops. In fact, Cardinal Law initially helped to fund the report, but then he backed out and they shelved it.
Are you kidding?
Richard, Robbie here. We think we have 13 priests in Boston that fit this pattern, which would be a very, very big story. Does that sound right to you in terms of scale?
No, not really, Robbie. Sounds low to me. My estimates suggest 6% act out sexually with minors.
6% of what?
6% of all priests.
How many priests do we have in Boston?
About 1,500. 1% is 15. 6% is 90.
Wait. 90 priests?
Is that possible?
From a metric standpoint, yes. That would certainly be in line with my findings. Hello?
90 fucking priests in Boston.
That's what he said.
If there were 90 of these bastards, people would know.
Maybe they do.
How many priests did you settle?
Robbie, I can't tell you that.
You're going to give me the names and the names of their victims.
Are you threatening me?
We've got two stories here. We've got a story about degenerate clergy, and we've got a story about a bunch of lawyers turning child abuse into a cottage industry. Now, which story do you want us to write? Because we're writing one of them.